this is Faith at Faith and Books. I am sitting in my son's car. I'm anticipating having to, well, it's complicated. I don't want to have to explain it, but anyway, I have to run errands using his car. But I just thought I would do a, end of the week. I never make it by Friday, but end of the week reading update. It's been such a crazy week. I mean, first of all, there was the time change. Wasn't that just last Sunday? I think I felt like a zombie all week, or was it the week before? I can't even remember. But, and then, with the coronavirus thing going on, they've shut down the schools. So my daughter's now at home from her college. She's not happy about it. She really liked dorm life. They've extended the spring break for my son who lives at home and goes to school, but now all his classes are going to be online once he gets back from spring break. And then the little 4-year-old's preschool closed, so now he's going to be home. And I had my Latin test. I finally did the Latin test. That's been working on that for months. I have no idea how I did. It was a weird test. I'd taken lots of practice tests. This one was a little bit different. Like maybe different people wrote it or something. So I don't know how that went. And that was a stressful day because my husband had this medical scare, which turned out to be a reaction to medication. But he wound up in the ER at Georgetown Hospital, which is like the epicenter of the coronavirus being spread in D.C., and he was sitting there, and they were so overwhelmed they weren't separating out the patients, the ones that were coughing or sick. So he said he felt like he was in more danger sitting there than actually seeing anybody, so he left. And it turned out to not be a problem. Anyway, it's just been such a crazy, weird week. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm just going to do my quick update here. Let's see. I'm almost done with this. I so wanted to be done with this, but everything's been so crazy, and I just can't keep my eyes open when I get a chance to read. I just nod right off. So I have a few pages left. I'm going to finish this today. I'm really, and it's a lovely book. It's really lovely. It's especially perfect for springtime. It's really put me in the mood for gardening and stuff. So yesterday I got out there and started weeding, and I've been planning what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do more of that today. Let's see what else. I've been reading this. I've gotten a little bit further. It's still wonderful. My son and I have been reading Isaiah. I think we're up to chapter 21, maybe, or 22, something like that. I started reading this book, Foucault's Pendulum, and it's Umberto Eco. The last time I was talking, I reversed his name. I don't know. Sometimes I'm dyslexic or something, but I only got a little bit because it's just been too frantic a week. But I have to say, it just strikes me as like a highbrow Da Vinci Code, and I'm not into it yet. So the jury's out on this one. Maybe I'll try to read another chapter. Jason at Byways and Bookland doesn't seem to be doing this read along, or at least not yet. Or maybe I've missed videos because I haven't been consistent. So anyway, I don't know. I'm not real excited about this one. Let's see. I'm gonna read this after I finish The Secret Garden for middle grade March. And what I did this week, which was crazy, because I just finished The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. It was the middle of the night. I was having insomnia. I looked on my Kindle, and my husband had read this book, I guess, last year. So I was just looking for stuff on my Kindle that we already had. And I found this book, Eagle Against the Sun, which is all about the Pacific theater of World War II. And I started reading that, and it's really well written. It's the professor, or the guy who wrote the book is now a professor of history at George Washington University, and he lives like in my area, which was kind of neat. But it's really interesting. I'm already like 13% in or something. Really interesting. He starts off with how the military had, and mostly the Navy, because the Navy's the the one in the Pacific mostly, how what happened to it after during World War One, and then in between when there was that sort of isolationist thing, and they were cutting the budget and all that stuff, and their plans for how to defend themselves against Japan, who was an aggressive, expanding nation that they were. There was a lot of friction going on anyway, before Japan dropped bombs on Pearl Harbor. So they sort of saw it coming. Anyway, very interesting. That's on my Kindle. And then, even though I'm doing that a year of reading one's own, which is such a good thing, especially during this coronavirus, social distancing thing, because that's even more of a reason to read all the books on your shelf. So that was good timing, I think. As good as timing can be in a situation like this. But the other thing was that for Lent, I gave up eating out. So I wasn't going out as much as I usually eat out, several times a week now that I'm older and don't have, now, often I eat out with the 4-year-old after I pick him up from preschool. We'll stop and we'll get something because there's a couple of places on the way home that have gluten-free options. So we stopped doing that, and I stopped ordering out, doing takeout and that sort of stuff. So, and that works out too because I had already gone out and shopped and planned meals and stuff anyway before it turned out that we all need to do the social distancing. But anyway, I got this in the mail, this little book called Centered, The Spirituality of Word on Fire, by Bishop Robert Barron. And it's just a collection of his quotes from his books over the years. He's quite a writer. And just to meditate on. And I really like Bishop Barron. I'm always worried that his head's going to get too big because he has such a following, and he has this big ministry called Word on Fire. He's on YouTube, and he's all over the internet. But he's always really sensible and intelligent and eloquent, and I really like him. So if you join his Word on Fire group, which I did a few months back, you get this book. So I got a book in the mail. So I'm excited. I'll read this after I'm finished What Jesus Saw from the Cross. So that is my reading. I just noticed that I got in my son's car and he's reading this book, Naomi Novik, Uprooted. Anyone know what that's about? I have no idea. Anyway, so that is it. I hope you all are staying well. It's spring is springing and it's really beautiful. But I guess that's about it for now, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.